Minecraft is a game where you can do pretty much anything. You can travel through different biomes, fight crazy monsters, perfect your aim with a plunger gun, spit into cups. I mean, you can do your freaking laundry. Wait, sorry. I was thinking about Raymond's Raving Rabbids 2 for the Nintendo Wii again. But you can do a whole lot in Minecraft, which is one of the reasons it's become one of the most popular speed games of all time. And for every hyper-optimized any percent world record, there's a million little speedrun categories you've never heard of. That can be quite strange. For this video, we found a few of the craziest Minecraft speedruns out there, and broke them down. Enjoy! Have you ever wished Minecraft had burgers? I know I consider it a whopping omission. Well, it turns out dozens of Minecraft Bedrock players from around the globe feel the same way. At least enough to compete over the McDonald's Happy Meal unofficial category extension. The goal is simple. Acquire 2 pieces of bread, a steak, a chicken, a baked potato, and an apple as fast as possible. I gotta say, I've never heard of a Happy Meal with a burger and chicken McNuggets. I would much rather take my bottle of chocolate milk, but that's just me. It might disappoint you to learn that, to our knowledge, players are not generally grinding Minecraft Happy Meal speedruns. In an ideal world, Happy Meal would be the most famous and active speedrun category of them all. But for now, most category extension speedruns start when a runner loads up a seed to attempt one of the boring, normal random seed records. In Bedrock Edition, the best speedrunning seeds usually start at a village within the coordinate range where the first ring of strongholds generates, because strongholds have a tendency to generate underneath the villages. The Plains village Hash Brown spawns into is roughly 600 blocks from the center of the world, meaning that it's plausible a stronghold could exist here. So he plays the seed. He enters the first house, loots the chest, and breaks the bed to use in the dragon fight. At this point, everything is going according to plan, but look at that inventory. 3 potatoes, 11 bread, and 3 apples. That's 2 of 5 Happy Meal components checked off the list, and the main ingredient of a 3rd. There's not going to be any dragon fighting happening today. Instead, Hash Brown, who as fate would have it is actually named for a dollar menu item, has the chance to pursue something far greater. The village is in a plains biome, meaning animal spawns are pretty common, and sure enough, there's a chicken waiting outside, which Hash Brown proceeds to beat to death with a potato. Of course, raw chicken will poison you, and while McDonald's chicken nuggets probably aren't much better, they're at least cooked first. So Hash Brown breaks a log, which he crafts into planks for fuel. He goes into the butcher's house and places the raw potato into a smoker to make a baked potato, where it will smelt twice as quickly as a regular furnace. The run's going well, but Hash Brown hasn't forgotten about the last ingredient, steak, and while the potato cooks, he steps outside the house for a second to look for cows. None are nearby at the moment, so he puts the chicken into the smoker before going back out. Sure enough, right when he needs it most, a cow appears in the distance. He punches it with his fist, it drops 2 raw beef, and now all he needs to do is take it back to the smoker to make steak. In just 1 minute and 10 seconds, Hash Brown has made himself an entire Happy Meal. When you start a brand new Minecraft world, most players would be inclined to find a shelter, maybe start a mine or start to build a farm. But some people just really want a pet fish, and I can't say I blame them. To complete a fish tank speedrun, you need to build a fish tank out of at least 17 glass blocks, a water source block, and have a fish swimming safely inside. This sounds pretty straightforward, but of course, Minecraft set seed speedrunners immediately found the most ridiculous way to pull this off. See, the only naturally occurring glass cube big enough to qualify as a fish tank generates inside a woodland mansion, in a secret room called the Lava Room. The Lava Room is pretty much what it sounds like. A glass tank full of lava with obsidian above and below it and a diamond block at the center. Sounds perfect for a fish tank, as long as you don't mind your fish immediately becoming a fillet. Not to worry, Minecraft speedrunners have a solution for everything, including getting a fish safely inside a tank of lava. This is where speedrunner Crimson, who may or may not be the Pope, comes in with his set seed world record. You can immediately tell he takes this run seriously, because he's multi-instancing with 5 different instances of Minecraft to increase his efficiency. He spawns in between a woodland mansion and a ruined portal, and uses the golden axe in the portal chest to quickly break it. Notice the axe has silk touch. That might come in handy later. He grabs a block of wood on his way to the river and uses the iron from the chest to make his bucket. A salmon swims peacefully in the river, unaware that its life is about to change forever. And Crimson grabs it and 180s back towards the nearby mansion. 16 seconds into the run, he breaks through the wall of the mansion. World record pace, but the last step is the hardest one. He'll have to first grab a piece of glass with his Silk Touch axe, then do several things within the span of half a second, which is how long it takes lava to flow one block from a source block. He'll break through the side of the tank at eye level, then, while leaving the corner lava block intact, place a glass block to the left of it. If he's lucky, immediately pick up the glass block he just broke, place that behind the lava block so that it's surrounded by glass, then place his fish bucket against that glass block, replacing the lava with water, and finally, place obsidian above the block so that no lava flows onto it. All within the span of 5 ticks, or half a second. How in the world does he pull this off? Easy. Pause abuse in all its glory. Take a look at the fastest Minecraft fish tank you'll ever see. A fish in a tank in 21 seconds. Not too bad for an 87-year-old bishop. Forgive me, father, for I wasn't familiar with your game. Now that run was pretty cool, but you might be thinking, he didn't really build a fish tank, he just put a fish in a bag and tossed it in a tank of lava. Well, that was the Set Seed Glitchless Structures fish tank world record. But if you want to see a real made-from-scratch fish tank, we'll have to go on over to the Random Seed Glitchless No Structures world record, held by Lexa B. Moob. This subcategory is very different, but the goals are very straightforward. Lexa is looking for sand to make glass, a body of water with fish, either an ocean or river, and iron. They spawn in a seemingly perfect location, the beach of an ocean next to a cave, where, if they're lucky, there will be exposed iron. The time to beat is 2 minutes 38 seconds by Morny12, and this is a perfect start, so it's time for Lexa to lock in. They break a tree, head into the cave, and make some starting tools. There's no exposed iron right away, but before Lexa is deterred, they have to dig out a lot of stone anyway to make several furnaces, where they'll be smelting 17 blocks of sand into 17 blocks of glass. They start to dig a staircase, and lo and behold, an iron vein reveals itself. Now, all the pieces are in place. It's time to build a fish tank. They finish gathering 36 cobblestone, enough for a stone axe, shovel, and 4 ferni. They head back to the surface, gather wood for fuel, then dig out their 17 sand. Out come the ferni, where they'll smelt the 3 iron first for a bucket, then put 5 sand in each other furnace, leaving 2 for the first, in order to optimize smelting time. While Lexa waits, they grab another piece of wood to make their second crafting table. Speedrunners don't have time to pick things up and carry them with them. Then, they make their bucket and hop into the ocean. A friendly local cod is happy to help out and gets bucketed at 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Just 26 seconds to get back to shore, smelt the last 2 glass, and build the tank. Sounds pretty tight, but this is the part Lexa has been practicing the most. And with everything on the line, they don't waste this opportunity. 2 minutes, 32 seconds. It might not be the most popular speedrun category, but it is heartwarming to see a fish freed from the dangerous open ocean into a thrifty new 1-block apartment. I mean tank. Insert witty segue to next segment here. If you need to pull out a cool party trick to break the tension at an upcoming holiday family gathering, look no further than Jeb_. By using a name tag to name any sheep Jeb_, the sheep will start changing colors. And if you're still not impressed, speedrunner Swaggy Cat has proven that it's possible to do so in just 20 seconds. But how? Name tags, as you probably know, aren't craftable, so the only ways you can quickly get them without fishing or trading are through loot chests. In Java Edition, you can find them in dungeons, ancient cities, mine shafts, or woodland mansions, none of which are exactly easy to get to, at least not right from spawn. But in Bedrock Edition, there's one more place you can find a name tag. Buried treasure, with a 34.3% chance. Once you get the name tag, you need to be able to actually rename it. This means you not only need an anvil, which takes 31 iron ingots to craft, but also enough experience points to actually do the renaming. What's the best way to get XP fast when you don't have time to build a huge mob farm you copied from a YouTube tutorial? Bottles of Enchanting. And here, Bedrock Edition comes up clutch once again, being the only version of the game to have these generate in buried treasure chests. At this point, the strategy for a Jeb_world record is pretty clear. Just find a seed that has buried treasure with all the loot you need and some sheep nearby. At that point, just craft as fast as possible and hope for the best. The second part is straightforward enough, but finding the perfect seed was more difficult. After Sign set a 38-second world record in June 2021, shaving almost 30 seconds off the previous record time, the meta seed was set for a while. It went like this. You spawned in a forest biome, punched a tree to get wood for a crafting table, and then jumped down onto a beach where a buried treasure was. Once you made your name tag, you went down the beach to where some sheep were waiting. As players got more and more efficient in their movement and crafting, the world record was cut over time, with Swaggy Cat setting a 34-second record 18 days after Signs. He held this record for over 3 months, eventually being beaten by 1 second in a run by Mr. Tim Tom YouTube. But the whole category was about to change forever. 5 months after this record, in April of 2022, a new runner was at the top of the leaderboards, Cube Flipper, with a run exactly 1 second faster than Mr. Tim Tom. But this time, the difference wasn't because of a tiny optimization, or a sheep walking closer to the player. Cube Flipper was playing on an entirely new seed, one that would allow runners to make multicolored sheep faster than anyone ever thought possible. The seed places the player directly above a buried treasure, which will consistently generate with 32 iron ingots, a name tag, and a bottle of enchanting. Just beyond, in an adjacent plains biome, is a flock of sheep. Cube Flipper's run, while fast, wasn't fully optimized by any means. He misclicks at the start when trying to dig through the sand, pauses before throwing the bottle of enchanting, and makes a slight misclick again when placing down the crafting table. Of course, it's not really his fault. He's playing on a touchscreen, which is notoriously imprecise, particularly when the run revolves around typing out a specific name with special characters. Again, Cube Flipper did very well with the tools he had, and earned a world record to show for it, but it's hard to argue it wouldn't have been easier with a keyboard and mouse. This seed still had untapped potential. Ender 4710 brought the record down to 21 seconds with a run played on PC, but it was Swaggy Cat, one-time world record holder on the old seed, who would do even better. Both players pretty much had the run down to a science, with extremely practiced and precise movement and crafting throughout the run. Both players lucked out with the Bottle of Enchanting, which can produce XP orbs worth anywhere from 3 to 11 points of experience, giving both of them the required 7 to level up. The sheep spawned in the same place as always, determined by the seed. At the end of the day, it was the sheep themselves who would determine a champion. I watched a great movie the other day called Grizzly Man, about a man who goes to live alone with wild animals. And though we as humans can never truly understand the behavior of animals, we can have a respect for their consciousness and the fact that they have a perspective on the world different from our own. It's hard for us as humans to understand why the sheep on this seed do what they do, but in Ender 4710's run, the nearest sheep walked away from the player. For Swaggy Cat, the sheep walked towards him, so he didn't have to run as far to name tag it. That was ultimately the difference. In less than 20 seconds, Swaggy Cat had become world champion. If you're older than a certain age and you're watching this video, you probably have either played or watched someone play the Minecraft Aether mod. If you haven't, the Aether is one of Minecraft's oldest mods, and might still be its biggest, but undeniably, it's the most legendary. Back in 2011, the Aether was the first Minecraft mod to really add a whole new world inside of Minecraft, with an entire sky dimension, complete with new blocks, mobs, items, and accessories. It was so revelatory for Minecraft modding, and over time became such a legendary part of Minecraft history that its creator, King B Dogs, was hired by Mojang as a gameplay developer for Minecraft. The one thing about the Aether, though, is that back when it came out, modding Minecraft wasn't quite as accessible, and people weren't as savvy with the tech as they are now. So you got a whole lot of 10-year-old prospective YouTubers building the legendary glowstone portal, using the water bucket to light it, and being so suddenly disappointed that they suffered emotional trauma, changing their brain chemistry and altering the course of their lives, sending them on a downward spiral that would culminate in events too unpleasant to mention here. Okay, it's possible I'm exaggerating, but this whole trying to go to the Aether and failing thing was huge, so of course, speedrunners had to bring it back. The goal of the Aether category is simple: build a 3x2 portal frame out of glowstone, and put a water source inside it to light the portal. The SSG world record was pulled off in June of 2023 by Unsortiertes, and it is a sight to behold. They spawn in on a ruined portal, complete it with the obsidian from the chest, and are into the nether at 5.3 seconds. They spawn in a bastion, drop down to go straight for the chest, where they get 10 glowstone and a pickaxe, then climb back up to return to the overworld with their loot. At 15.6 seconds, they're back in the overworld, where they drop into a nearby river, and with the help of a little pausing, build their portal and have it lit before the in-game timer reaches 20 seconds. Pretty cool. Although I can't help feeling like the magic of the old Aether isn't really captured in this kind of run. A random seed run, though, feels more like the adventurous, get there from scratch kind of vibe that the Aether's all about. So, with that in mind, let's jump into the run that Lysotroph was playing on July 11th, 2023. With a world record of 244 by a Other, it wasn't gonna be easy to get into the nether, collect glowstone, and get back to the overworld in time to beat that record. But this isn't just some game. This is life or death. Lysotroph has to get to the Aether. Never mind the fact that she was mainly resetting for any percent and that she had just learned about the Aether category in Minecraft Java's unofficial category extensions 90 minutes ago. She was taking her mission very seriously. She flips through worlds, running 6 instances of Minecraft at once, looking for a beach spawn where she can hopefully find a buried treasure, which will give her everything she needs to get to the nether. With the help of her pet bunny, she saves seeds that look promising while resetting ones that don't, and on this particular seed, the bunny's nose is true. She doesn't have any luck finding a buried treasure using the block entity indicator on the F3 screen's pie chart, but she does spot a shipwreck right next to the island she spawned on, which as long as it has enough iron, is almost as good. It has 13, which is a perfect amount, because it allows her to make a full set of iron tools, a bucket and flint and steel for the nether portal, and shears to quickly gather leaf blocks, which she can use to build up to glowstone in the nether since it grows downwards off of ceilings. She gets back to shore at 22 seconds, heads for the nearest tree, gathers a little wood, and then crafts all those things I just said. She gathers leaves, makes a boat and a door for nether entry, and she's off into the ocean, where she'll want to find an underwater magma ravine. Right away, she spots one, which means this is going to be a pretty decent nether entry. She stops to grab gravel on her way down, which she'll need for a flint and steel, then makes her nether portal and is into the nether at 1 minute and 42 seconds. Now, a pivotal moment in the run. She opens her F3 screen, analyzing entity data to deduce whether there's a bastion nearby. If there was, in all likelihood she'd continue her any percent dream and just try to beat the game. But luckily for us, and for the billions of people watching at home around the world, there isn't. What there is a big old gob of glowstone just teasing her on a low ceiling nearby. This can only mean one thing. It's game time. She runs for the glowstone and mines until she has 40 dust, enough to craft into 10 glowstone blocks. Back to her portal, and she's returning to the overworld with less than 30 seconds left to build her portal. It's gonna be really close. Now, ideally, a runner would build their portal in the open air, because it's much faster than navigating anything underground, but being at the bottom of a ravine, Lysotroph has no time for that. Her only option is to dig into the nearby wall and carve out space for her portal. She digs out each block, one by one, glowstone at the ready, the clock taunting her, her pickaxe painfully slow. I can't watch. Did you get it? She got it. She got it, folks. A happy ending. I hope this shows you all that if you set your mind to it, you too can set an obscure Minecraft world record in a category with 0 active runners. I mean, realistically, not all of you can do that, but some of you probably can, and the rest of you can keep watching us talk about them. Thanks so much for making it to the end of the video. Be sure to leave a like if you liked, and comment if you know what you want to see from us next. Happy holidays, Happy New Year, Happy birthday, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.